I'm here in Lido in Funchal, one of my favourite spots on the island just for chilling and watching the world go by. And there's loads of cool restaurants and cafes here to contend with and that. So I've decided to go on the walk from here to Câmara de Lobos, the fishing village made famous by Winston Churchill and his painting back in the day, and this will be a first for me. So come along for this trip and I'll show you the sights and sounds en route. So at least 5 minutes into your walk, you will come across this. So make sure you take a left to go down to the ramp, and it's by the Complexo, Balnear da Ponta Gorda. There's a pool down below, so you know you're in the right spot if you see that, and the playground just there in front of us. And there's the obligatory view looking back, and you can see that rock out in the ocean. Ilio Dogogolho. Right, we shall continue up this ramp. The sooner we get there, the sooner I can show you Câmara de Lobos in all its glory. And it's a place I visited last year, if you remember those vlogs. They have the right sign for it, the Coastal Promenade, and we're going this way, and we'll check out that statue there. I think it could be the discoverer of Madeira, yes, João Gonçalves Zarco. So he was a gentleman who discovered Madeira back in the day. So the path continues this way. We're going to go down to the beach, and in the distance there you can see Formosa Beach with the pebbles on it. And this is a cool bathing area down below. I could be tempted to utilize it later on in my trip. So go down these steps. And those houses there, they remind me of mainland Portugal, the ones I saw in Algarve with the colours, the blue and the white. So as you're at the bottom of the steps, you'll come across this. It's a tunnel which will lead you right to Formosa Beach, and just be careful of the closing times there because you don't want to be trapped. And in we go. And it is lit up on either side, so the camera is actually brightened up the screen because it's dark. I'm still wearing my shades, so we'll just quickly run through this. I'll speed up the footage so I don't bore you too much. Oh, and there's a couple of rock windows at the side. You can look down at the sea, but I don't recommend jumping in. So we continue into the tunnel. And as the old adage goes, let there be light. There's light at the end of the tunnel. And that is it for Formosa Beach. I'm seeing it for the first time with my own eyes whilst I'm not on a ship or a boat. Wow. It is a pebble beach, of course, but when the tide is really low, it reveals black sand. And as you can see behind me, that's the tunnel from whence I came. And that's looking back to the bathing complex. So just to give you an idea of how long the tunnel was. So we went from there to there. So I shall just set foot on Formosa Beach just to say that I've been here. And if I get a chance, I'll come back another time and maybe have a dip in it. But I'll just show you what to expect. A bit more upfront and personal. And way in the distance there, that's our target, Câmara de Lobos. So I'm not too sure on this bit. It looks like we might have to go onto the beach to continue the walk. But try as we might, we shall do it for as long as possible. And looking down, here's a peep of some of the black sand which I mentioned earlier. So it looks as if we have to continue along Formosa Beach until we see the path up ahead where it resumes. More black sand below there. So we persevered onto the pebble beach there for about 5 minutes because we had no choice. The road just by that bar before we stepped onto the beach was blocked off. There was construction going on, so I didn't mind it anyway. So we'll just go up this ramp here, and this is where the path continues, and there's quite a few beach bars, cafes and restaurants along this stretch of Formosa Beach. From the looks of things on my left, there has been more black sand revealed. So I didn't realise that this would be partly black sand, well, this much anyway, on my visit here. And this would normally be the easy way up with those steps, but unfortunately they're blocked off. But there are some other steps over there to contend with. So I'm just over halfway on this walk and stopped off at Beira Calhau, and the beach is just there. So it's poncha time, so I'm going to try this. It's a regional poncha, only €3. So bottoms up, saúde. That is delicious. You can't go wrong with poncha. Well, most of the time anyway. Now, I hope you enjoyed that drone flight there, just to give you a gist of the area of Praia Formosa, show you how big or small you thought it was. So we're now into early evening. We're about 2/3 of the way to Câmara de Lobos. It's still very warm. I think it's about 21 Celsius, and I think we expect to get there within 30 minutes from my time point of view. But before we continue, I saw an interesting rock structure, so I thought we'd have a gander at it. So this is in front of me, and there appear to be some steps going up to it. So we got to do it. Right, so better start at the bottom. There's a young chap there already raced ahead of me. Easy does it. Ooh, it is a bit sketchy. So I have one hand on the rocks whilst the other hand is vlogging. I better swap hands there so I can change hands and grab the rocks on the other side. Easy does it. And swap hands once again. And we have reached the summit. So this is it. I'll just move a little bit more further, but easy does it. And there we have it. So I'll just give you a quick pano 360 tour of the top of the rock of Praia Formosa. And there's Alonso, he's chanced it as well. And that's looking back from whence I came. And as I've said before, this is the land of waterfalls, because when you least expect it, one pops out of nowhere. As we continue, this footbridge ahead marks a border between the municipality of Funchal and the municipality of Câmara de Lobos, because over that ridge there, that is our target. So that is it, I'm officially in Câmara de Lobos after crossing that bridge back there. And here's the obligatory view from whence I came. Stay on the path and mind the cars on the right. And they knew I was coming with this warm welcome. Welcome to Câmara de Lobos. And here it is, first glimpse of Câmara de Lobos. Boa tarde.
Boa tarde, tudo bem?
I think we are approaching the final bend before we are all properly in Câmara de Lobos, fishing village. So here we go. Are you ready? The sun is beating down upon us still, and this is it, people, from the first viewpoint right here. Wow, that sunshine makes all the difference. So as we head down these steps, we are approaching Miradoro Winston Churchill, which is Churchill's viewpoint, the spot where he painted back in the day. I think it was after he retired as Prime Minister after World War II. So let's have a look at that. And I may have covered it in my vlog from last year. So let's see where it is. I think this is it right here. Yeah, it looks familiar enough, with a gnarly tree in the middle to mark things. And these are the boats of the harbour, which incidentally, this is the harbour where Santa Maria de Colombo, the replica ship which you saw earlier going across Formosa Beach, this was where it was built and launched from. But wait, my mistake, it wasn't actually down there, it's actually here. What a mistake to maker.
What a mistake to maker.
Right here, Miradoro Winston Churchill. So this was his viewpoint from where he painted, and I mistakenly thought that it was just right there. But this makes sense because you get a better view of the houses and the boats from up here. So here he is, the master at work. Mr. Winston Churchill, or rather Sir Winston Churchill. He has a blank slate there, but I better leave him to it and see what he can produce later on. Right folks, I was looking for somewhere to eat and I inadvertently stumbled across this place. I've already eaten the food. It's more of a family restaurant, isn't it? Home cooked food, and I had some picado, absolutely delicious. And may I introduce you to...
Hi,
Carmina.
Carmina.
Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Anyway, she's been kind enough to call us a bolt, which will take us back to Lido where we're staying because we're so wrecked after that walk to Câmara de Lobos. And I'll put some details about this place in the description below. So if you're in Câmara de Lobos, hopefully I pronounced that right.
Câmara de Lobos.
Please be free to visit it, and the prices are exceptional.